Do you have an Amazon Alexa enabled device? You can now listen to my podcast on that device. Just go to Alexa Skills, search for K-12 Education Untangled, click Enable to enable that skill, and voila! You're now able to listen to my podcast via your Alexa enabled device. Welcome to another episode of K-12 Education Untangled. My name is Dr. Kim Fields, former corporate manager turned educational researcher and advocate, and I'm the host of this podcast. I got into this space after dealing with some frustrating interactions with school educators and administrators, as well as experiencing the micro-discriminations that I faced as an African-American mom raising my two kids who were in the public school system. I really wanted to understand how teachers were trained and what the research provided about the challenges of the public education system. Once I gained the information and the insights that I needed, I was then equipped to be able to successfully support my children in their educational progress. If you're looking to find out more about current information and issues in education that could affect you or your children, then you're in the right place. Thanks for tuning in today. I know that staying informed about K-12 education trends and topics is important to you, so keep listening. On today's episode, I'll be sharing my thoughts about accepting what is and learning to deal with it. Do you know people who live in a world other than the actual reality that they really live in? I mean, it seems as though they're always wishing for something other than the reality of their current life. My husband seems to be one of those people. He's always lamenting about wishing he had more money or wishing he had more friends. He even beats the dead horse about living arrangements of some relatives, indicating that it should be according to his standards. Here's a fun fact. People live in cohabitating relationships that work best for them. Constantly pushing your beliefs on their situation doesn't effectively serve anyone. Accepting what is can be challenging, even frustrating at times, but it's necessary for acknowledging where you are. Wishing for enough money to remodel a house, for example, or wishing for more friends, etc., may not necessarily be the best examples of failing to accept what is, but it can become an issue if the wish for more money leads to discontentment, dissatisfaction, or a refusal to appreciate and make the most of the current living situation. Accepting what is in this context would involve acknowledging the current state of the house when we're talking about remodeling a house. And just acknowledging that current state and finding contentment and gratitude for what it offers. It means finding peace and appreciation for the present while actively working towards the desired changes within one's means and purview. Also, wishing you had more friends is not a proactive way to actually engage with others to develop new friendships. Acceptance allows for a balanced perspective, recognizing both the desire for improvement and the importance of finding contentment in the present circumstance. Let's get started. One way to understand what accepting what is all about is by a practical illustration. Here's an example of a story where someone failed to accept what is in a job situation. Jessica had been working at the same company for several years and had always dreamed of getting a promotion to a managerial position. She had put in long hours, taken on extra responsibilities, and believed she had all the qualifications necessary for a promotion. However, when the time came for the promotion announcements, Jessica was passed over for the position. Instead of accepting the reality of the situation, Jessica refused to acknowledge that she didn't get the promotion. She became bitter and resentful, blaming her colleagues and superiors for what she perceived as an unfair decision. She couldn't let go of her expectations and the belief that she deserved the promotion. As a result, Jessica's attitude at work deteriorated. She became disengaged, stopped putting in the same effort, and even started spreading negativity among her coworkers. Her refusal to accept what is was not only affecting her well-being, but also strained her relationships with colleagues and hindered her personal growth. Had Jessica accepted the reality of not getting the promotion, she could have chosen to focus on other opportunities for growth and development. She could have sought feedback, identified areas for improvement, or explored different career paths within or outside the company. By resisting what is, Jessica missed out on potential avenues for personal and professional growth and created unnecessary tension in her work environment. This example illustrates how failing to accept what is can lead to negative consequences, both personally and professionally. Acceptance allows you to adapt, learn, and make the most of the present reality, even when it doesn't align with your expectations or desires. Accepting what is refers to the practice of acknowledging and embracing the current reality of a situation without resistance or judgment. It involves letting go of the desire to control or change things that are beyond your control and instead focusing on finding peace and contentment in the present moment. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or being passive, but rather it allows you to approach challenges with a clear mind and a calm mindset, enabling you to make better decisions and take appropriate action. It's a powerful tool in personal development because it helps you cultivate resilience, reduce stress, and foster a greater sense of inner peace. Another way of describing accepting what is could be embracing the present reality. This phrase emphasizes the act of fully embracing and acknowledging the current circumstances without resistance or judgment. It implies a willingness to let go of the desire for things to be different and instead focus on finding peace, growth, and solutions within the present moment. By embracing the present reality, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, cultivate resilience, and foster a sense of inner peace and contentment. When you accept what is, you create a foundation of clarity and objectivity that allows you to make better decisions. There are ways of accepting what is, as it can be helpful in decision making. One, it gives clear assessment. Assessment helps you to see the situation as it truly is without clouding your judgment with denial, wishful thinking, or resistance. This clarity enables you to assess the situation more accurately, understanding the facts and potential consequences. Two, it focuses on what's within your control. Acceptance helps you recognize the aspects of a situation that you can influence or change. By letting go of what's beyond your control, you can direct your energy toward making decisions that have a meaningful impact. Three, it's about embracing reality. Acceptance allows you to acknowledge and embrace the reality of a situation, even if it's not what you hope for. By accepting the present circumstances, you can make decisions based on the actual situation rather than on unrealistic expectations or desires. 4. Reduced emotional bias. Acceptance helps you detach from strong emotions that can cloud your judgment. When you accept what is, you can approach decision-making with a more rational and balanced mindset, reducing the influence of impulsive or emotionally driven choices. And 5, it allows for flexibility and adaptability. Acceptance opens you up to new possibilities and alternative solutions. It allows you to be more flexible and adaptable in your decision-making process, considering different perspectives and options that you may have overlooked if you were resistant to accepting the current reality. By practicing acceptance, you can make decisions that are grounded in reality, aligned with your values, and focused on creating positive outcomes. It really empowers you to navigate challenges with resilience and wisdom, which both lead to better decision-making overall. Sometimes accepting what is has to do with your financial situation. The following is an example of failing to accept what is regarding money. Alyssa had always dreamed of achieving financial success and living a life of abundance. However, despite her best efforts, she found herself constantly struggling with debt and financial instability. Instead of accepting the reality of her financial situation, Alyssa refused to acknowledge the need to change. She continued to spend beyond her means, relying on credit cards and loans to maintain a lifestyle she couldn't afford. She ignored the mounting debt, avoiding budgeting, and seeking financial advice. Alyssa held on to the belief that things would magically improve, perhaps through a sudden windfall or a stroke of luck, maybe even winning the lottery. As a result, Alyssa's financial situation worsened. The debt continued to accumulate, and she faced increasing stress and anxiety about her financial future. Her refusal to accept the reality of her financial struggles prevented her from taking proactive steps to improve her situation. Had Alyssa accepted the reality of her financial situation, she could have sought financial education, created a budget, and developed a plan to pay off her debts. She could have even explored opportunities to increase her income by, here's a thought, taking on a second job, or simply reducing her expenses. By resisting what is, Alyssa missed the chance to take control of her finances and work towards a more stable and secure financial future. Now, this example demonstrates how failing to accept what is regarding money can lead to worsening financial circumstances and increased stress. Acceptance allows you to confront the reality of your financial situation, take responsibility, and make informed decisions to improve your financial well-being. It opens the door to financial growth, stability, and a healthier relationship with money. And let's be honest, some people may have a hard time accepting what is due to various reasons. Some of those factors include a fear of change. Accepting what is often requires embracing change, which can be uncomfortable and uncertain for some people. They may resist accepting the present reality because they fear the unknown or feel overwhelmed by the potential adjustments that may be required. Attachment to expectations is another reason why people may fail to accept what is. Sometimes people often have expectations about how things should be or how they want them to turn out. In reality, that may not align with the real expectations, and it can be challenging to accept what is. The attachment to specific outcomes can create resistance and disappointment. The ego and identity are also involved. Your ego and sense of identity can play a role in resisting what is. If your self-worth or identity is tied to certain outcomes or circumstances, accepting a different reality can feel like a threat to your sense of self. This can lead to resistance and difficulty in accepting what is. Emotional attachment is another reason why some people have difficulty accepting what is. Strong emotional attachments to desired outcomes or past experiences can make it challenging to accept the present reality. Holding on to those attachments can prevent individuals from fully embracing and moving forward from the current situation. Love my show? Consider being a regular subscriber. You can subscribe for as little as $3 per month. Just go to https://tinyurl.com/podcast support. There's no contractual obligation. You can cancel at any time. If you choose to subscribe, I'll give you a special shout out thanking you in an upcoming episode. Remember, that's https://tinyurl.com/podcast support to subscribe. Conditioning and beliefs also play a role in this. Cultural, societal, or personal conditioning can influence your beliefs and perspectives. If you've been conditioned to believe that certain things should or shouldn't be a certain way, it can be difficult to accept a reality that contradicts those beliefs. And maybe that lack of accepting what is just due to a lack of awareness or understanding. Sometimes people may struggle to accept what is simply because they lack awareness or understanding of the situation. They may be unaware of the full extent of the reality or its implications, which can hinder acceptance. This is a personal and individual process, and your particular journey toward acceptance may be unique, and it can take time, involve self-reflection, and support to overcome the challenges that could hinder accepting what is. By resisting what is, you prolong your suffering and limit your ability to find peace and resolution. On the other hand, accepting what is allows you to move forward with clarity, resilience, and a greater sense of inner peace. It allows you to problem solve, to grow from the situation, and to develop healthier relationships. In some instances, facing and accepting what is occurs in personal relationships. This example highlights that situation. Mark and Lisa had been in a long-term relationship for several years. Over time, they began to grow apart and experience challenges in their communication and connection. Despite the signs of strain in their relationship, Mark refused to accept the reality that things were changing. Instead of acknowledging the issues and working together to address them, Mark held on to the belief that their relationship would magically return to its previous state. He ignored the signs of distance and avoided difficult conversations, hoping that everything would eventually resolve itself. As a result, the relationship continued to deteriorate. The lack of acceptance and proactive effort to address the underlying issues led to increased resentment, misunderstandings, and emotional disconnection. Both Mark and Lisa felt frustrated and unfulfilled, but Mark's resistance to accepting the changing dynamics prevented them from finding a solution. Had Mark accepted the reality of the situation, he could have initiated open and honest conversations with Lisa, seeking to understand her perspective and expressing his own concerns. They could have explored couples therapy or relationship building activities to rebuild their connection. By resisting what is, Mark missed the opportunity to address the challenges and potentially salvage or transform the relationship. This example highlights how failing to accept what is in a personal relationship can hinder growth, communication, and emotional well-being. Acceptance allows you to confront the reality of the situation, communicate effectively, and make informed decisions about the future of the relationship. It opens the door to healing and the possibility of creating a healthier and more fulfilling connection. Accepting what is brings numerous benefits to your personal development and overall well-being. These benefits include inner peace. Acceptance allows you to find peace within yourself by letting go of resistance and embracing the present moment. It frees you from the constant struggle against reality and helps you cultivate a sense of calm and contentment, reduced stress and anxiety. Accepting what is reduces the stress and anxiety that often arises from trying to control or change things beyond your control. By accepting the reality of a situation, you can focus your energy on productive actions rather than on being consumed by worry or frustration. It also improves resilience. Acceptance fosters resilience by helping you adapt to challenging situations. It allows you to bounce back from setbacks, learn from experiences, and find new ways to navigate obstacles. By accepting what is, you become more flexible and better equipped to handle life's ups and downs. Enhanced problem solving is another benefit to accepting what is. Acceptance clears the path for effective problem solving. When you accept the reality of a situation, you can approach it with a clear and objective mindset. This enables you to identify practical solutions, make informed decisions, and take appropriate action. Authentic self-expression. Accepting what is allows you to embrace your true self and express yourself authentically. By accepting your strengths, weaknesses, and unique qualities, you can live in alignment with your values and pursue paths that resonate with your authentic self. It also increases self-awareness. Acceptance encourages self-reflection and self-awareness. By accepting what is, you gain deeper insights into yourself, your patterns, and your reactions. This self-awareness empowers you to make conscious choices and cultivate personal growth. In contrast, when you resist what is, you create inner conflict and struggle against the reality of the situation. You become more frustrated, you hinder problem solving, because resisting what is can cloud your judgment and hinder your ability to find effective solutions. Instead of focusing on practical and constructive problem solving, you may get caught up in denial, blame, or wishful thinking, which can impede your progress. It also causes strained relationships, and it's an energy drain. Resisting what is requires a significant amount of mental and emotional energy. It can consume your thoughts, drain your vitality, and prevent you from focusing on more productive endeavors. This energy drain can leave you depleted and less able to cope with challenges effectively. Learning to deal with what is can be a transformative journey. That includes being mindful. Practicing mindfulness involves bringing non-judgmental awareness to the present moment. By cultivating mindfulness, you can observe your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without getting caught up in them. This awareness helps you accept the reality of a situation as it unfolds, allowing you to respond with clarity and equanimity. Self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance. When faced with challenging circumstances, it's important to extend compassion to yourself, acknowledging your emotions and experiences without judgment. Self-compassion helps you navigate difficult situations with greater resilience and self-care. To cultivate acceptance also includes reframing perspectives. Reframing involves shifting your perspective on a situation to see it in a more positive or empowering light. By reframing your thoughts, you can find new meaning, opportunities, or lessons within the reality of the situation. This shift in perspective can help you accept what is and approach it with a more constructive mindset. It also involves emotional processing. Emotions are a natural response to the reality of a situation. It's important to allow yourself to fully experience and process your emotions without judgment or suppression. By acknowledging and understanding your emotions, you can navigate them with greater ease and acceptance, leading to emotional healing and growth. And one final word about cultivating acceptance is that when required, always seek support. Dealing with what is can be challenging, and seeking support from others can be immensely helpful. Whether it's through therapy, coaching, support groups, or trusted friends and family, reaching out for support can provide guidance, perspective, and a safe space to explore and accept the reality of a situation. It's especially helpful if the trusted friend is straight up and honest with you in a loving way. Remember, this is about a journey, a personal journey, to accept what is and to deal with it. And that journey takes time and practice. So be patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this process, and celebrate the progress that you make along the way. As is the usual case for these personal thought-sharing episodes where I close with either a clean joke or a quote, I provide this joke for your amusement. Lawyers should never ask a Georgia grandma a question if they aren't prepared for the answer. In a trial, a southern small-town prosecuting attorney called his first witness, a grandmotherly, elderly woman, to the stand. He approached her and asked, "Mrs. Jones, do you know me?" She responded, "Why, yes, I do know you, Mr. Williams. I've known you since you were a boy, and frankly, you've been a big disappointment to me. You lie, you steal, and you cheat on your wife, and you manipulate people and talk about them behind their backs. You think you're a big shot when you haven't the brains to realize you'll never amount to anything more than a 2-bit paper pusher. Yes, I know you." The lawyer was stunned. Not knowing what else to do, he pointed across the room and asked, "Mrs. Jones, do you know the defense attorney?" She again replied, "Why, yes, I do. I've known Mr. Bradley since he was a youngster, too. He's lazy, bigoted, and he has a drinking problem. He can't build a normal relationship with anyone, and his law practice is one of the worst in the entire state. Not to mention he cheated on his wife with 3 different women. One of them was your wife." "Yes, I know him." The defense attorney nearly died. The judge asked both counselors to approach the bench and in a very quiet voice said, "If either of you idiots ask her if she knows me, I'll send you both to the electric chair." Did you enjoy this episode? If so, do me a favor and leave me a rating or review on Apple or Podchaser. This would really help my rankings as well as entice other people to listen to the show. And share this episode with anyone that you think would find it valuable. Be sure to tell your friends, family, and community about my podcast. Thanks for listening today. I hope you'll come back for more K-12 educational discussions with even more exciting topics to untangle. Be sure to stay tuned. On the next episode, I'll be discussing whether emotional intelligence applies to children. Until next time, aim to learn something new every day.